So it's about a group of asylum seekers that are sent to a remote Scottish island to wait for their asylum claims. But it centres around Omar, who's struggling to come to terms with his identity as a refugee.
It's a comedy drama, but also about, a fish out of water, and I think that's something that everybody can relate to in some way.
We haven't got along.
So 10 plus years before I went into filmmaking, my undergraduate degree was in Arabic and politics, and as part of that I spent my third year living in Syria. I started off with the subject matter knowing that I wanted to make a film broadly about the refugee crisis. I kind of had these initial sort of desires and images, and I think what I got at that point was just this image of this sort of lone figure in this vast landscape and this Arctic environment. I think that naturally when we were there, it's like, and Amir, know this because he sort of felt the full sort of impact of the island.
I mean, the weather played an integral role in the film, and almost should be credited on IMDb.
It was everything. The island just threw everything at us, from the wind and the rain. There was one scene that it took us 5 goes to get. We had to return on 5 different occasions. We almost got swallowed by the tide at one point.
That's true. That scene. So that day of shooting, it was like we only have a number of hours to finish this. But there was one point I felt like I was going to be Mary Poppins at one point, with the case just flying upwards, and also us being on the island and being away from family for that period of time without any reception. So that feeling of isolation. Being there, I've never actually heard the silence like that before in my life. Being on an island that you don't even hear anything at night. In a way, it was, useful for sure to tap into the environment.
If you are calling about an asylum claim, please hang up.
At some point, I came across an image of Amir online from The Night Manager, and in that moment, just knew that he was our Omar. Really understood the character and had that sort of depth in his performance as well.
I've never fought tooth and nail to get in a room before Limbo, honestly. It just leapt off the page straight away.
And then we did lots of chemistry tests with Amir and Vikash, Abedi and Wasif as well. Quabs, who plays Abedi, was also a similar case where he was in a Barclays bank commercial, and I saw that and I was like, that's Abedi.
No!
I think that independent film challenges what cinema can be in a way that's not kind of bound by the constraints of big budget commercial cinema.
It's the safest place to break rules and not follow a formula of certain filmmaking. You don't need big budgets at all to showcase talent. I would say always, keep practicing, and it only needs the right person to pick it up and give you a shot. Just like this,
Are you ever going to play that? Just like carry it around.
For filmmakers, I would echo some of that as well, because I think it is so easy to make films now. For me, with my first feature before Limbo, we made that outside of the industry on a very low budget, and we weren't patient. We just went and did it because we believed in ourselves. I think that's really important to listen to yourself and follow your instinct.
This is probably our second time that we're watching Limbo in a cinema. It's so good, and it's so important for independent film to be seen on a big screen.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's kind of, Limbo was made for the cinema. It was made with the cinema in mind for so many different reasons, for the way it's shot. The character of the island comes alive as well through the sound, and that you're kind of, when you're in the cinema, you just focus in a different way as well. I know it's very exciting that people are now going to finally get to watch it on the big screen.